toryndo jast. The engines on the island of Sodor, like Nert, Victor and Mavis, like to work extra hard, but can always get the job done so quick and fast. And one day, Stepney was taking balloons and parcels to the docks. Through the scrapyard, under the Action Canyon track, and through the scrapyard, and there he was. And there he was, just in time to the docks. And with that, when he finally arrived at the docks, the blue and yellow boat arrived in too. But just then, Stepney was a little bit bullied while toryndo jast was loading up his loads. While toryndo jast said this to Stepney, You seem to look like a little baby, Stepney. And it seems to me that you're not in it, I suppose. I'm not little, said Stepney. I'm strong and really useful, and I'm a bluebell engine, you know, he said. You don't look like one to me, said toryndo jast. You're a big fat bug, and you're one of them, of course. Stepney was cross and decided to pin himself back on toryndo jast. Well, that's not nice, said Stepney. You're a giant fat bug too, and that is... Now, how do you like that? Shut up, you fat stupid mega fat bug. And that is why you're called Stepney the fat bug, he said. And with that, Stepney was so sad, then he puffed away. I am not a fat bug. I'm a really useful engine, and that is why the fat controller loves me, he said. And with that, Stepney puffed sadly away to go back to the sheds to tell the engines what toryndo jast said to him this morning. Just then, he told Rosie and Hero, who really didn't care. It's true, guys, he said. Toryndo jast did call me a fat bug, and that made me so sad, said Stepney. And that made me so sad, said Stepney. And with that, Rosie and Hero became much kinder, except Mavis and Nert. They started laughing. And with that, Victor had enough. Enough, both of you, he said. It's mean to think that Stepney's a bug, and it's not nice to laugh at him while he's sad, said Victor. Okay, said the two engines. And with that, Rosie told Stepney about her and toryndo jast. About her, and with that, Rosie told Stepney about she and toryndo jast. And with that, she puffed out to the sheds and talked to him and told him what toryndo jast called her. Well, before you came here this morning, said Rosie, yesterday morning, toryndo jast called me a little purple bean in a frying pan, and that is why he's always not used to us engines at all, she said. And he's not used to the both of you, said Hero. I know, said Rosie. And Rosie puffed. And with that, Rosie came back to her shed. But when Stepney was about to get out, Molly puffed in with some fuel tankers. Stepney, she said, I have some fuel tankers for you to take to the docks, he said. So, take them for toryndo jast, he said. He might want to know all about your issue, he said. Oh, thank you, Molly, said Stepney. You're a very good friend. You're welcome, said Molly. Molly shunted the fuel tankers near Stepney, and she puffed away back to be doing her own work, and with that, she was gone away. While Stepney was going to the docks once again, he was ready for the fuel tankers and was ready for his next plan. His plan was that it began raining and raining, and soon tonight it's going to be stormy, and so Stepney had to warn him. You better be careful, toryndo jast, said Stepney. Be careful with what? said toryndo jast. The tankers? No, said Stepney. What it is, tonight a storm is coming, and you better rise in quickly, or else you will explode in pieces. Huh, said toryndo jast. Who even cares? Get on with your job. And so Stepney did. When his job was over, he got back at toryndo jast and that was his plan. Well then, Giraffe toryndo jast, he said, the storm is going to kill you, and you will be destroyed forever. Growled toryndo jast, and decided so. And that is why you're so mean to me, said Stepney, and goodbye. And with that, Stepney puffed away, except toryndo jast, who is not liking his payback on him at all, and he didn't. That night, the big storm raged, and the trucks came off the rails, and the fuel tankers had been blown away, and they flew off the rails and into the water below, and they were never to be seen again. The trucks were too heavy as they knocked toryndo jast down, and toryndo jast was so scared that he fell down and crashed into the blue and yellow boat. Oh! cried toryndo jast, and he felt even more hurt now, and he did. Help, he said. Help, he said to himself, but he couldn't help himself now. So won't his owner pathetically, who had his arm battered and damaged, and he did. Deliveries laid everywhere, and the nighttime storm was a disaster. It was morning time when the storm at night was over. When the nighttime storm was over, Stepney finally arrived in the morning and was ready to see toryndo jast. He felt sorry for him. Toryn, he said, are you all right? I'm sorry, Stepney, he said. I'm sorry for calling you a fat bug. You're a really useful engine. Just call for help. Right away, he said. And so Stepney did call for help. The other mess was cleared. Thomas entered the breakdown train, and toryndo jast was right up again. And with that, Stepney and toryndo jast were back to being friends again, and toryndo jast never calls Stepney a big fat bug again, because he knows that he may bite back, and that is why Stepney and toryndo jast are normally friends. And with that, this made Thomas and all his friends really happy, and this made the Fat Controller really happy too. And with that, toryndo jast knows never to call Stepney a bug again, and he didn't.